Number 3. He drank alcohol throughout the day, even in high school. Jeffrey Dahmer began abusing alcohol as an adolescent. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of True Crimes, where I talk about anything true crime related, including serial killers. Today we'll be talking about a guy named Jeffrey Dahmer, which you probably already seen on Netflix. And yeah. Now, if you didn't know already, basically Jeffrey Dahmer was just this awkward young guy who murdered 17 men and had ate them too. So this guy was not only a killer, but he was also a cannibal too. Now, let's get straight to the fun facts. 16 fun facts about Jeffrey Dahmer that you probably didn't know. Alright. So, starting at number 1. A childhood surgery may have changed him forever. According to his family, Dahmer was a happy and energetic child until he underwent surgery for a double hernia. Around the same time, his little brother was born, and the family relocated several times to different parts of Ohio. Investigators believe that the combined impact of these events, beginning with the surgery, permanently altered Dahmer's psyche. He was never again the same happy child he had once been, and he began to retreat into himself. Number 2. Dahmer was obsessed with animal bones from a young age, an interest his scientist father encouraged. From the time he was a child, Dahmer was obsessed with animal bones, including the sounds they made and the ways they fit together. Dahmer took his obsession to the next level at age 10, asking his chemist father what would happen if chicken bones were placed in bleach. Lionel Dahmer, believing that his son was finally finding a passion, and a scientific passion no less, was happy to show young Jeffrey how to clean and preserve animal bones using bleach. Such methods, of course, played an integral role in Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes as an adult, from the disposal of remains to the cleaning of skulls that were then added to his collection. Number 3. He drank alcohol throughout the day, even in high school. Jeffrey Dahmer began abusing alcohol as an adolescent. Classmates recalled his smuggling beer, wine, and all manner of hard liquor into class, or stashing bottles in his locker. The drinking had a negative impact on Dahmer's performance as a student and compounded his isolation. His parents even hired a private tutor in hopes of boosting his grades. I don't know. Nevertheless, some students remembered Dahmer as a class clown, a person who pulled pranks to amuse others. He achieved average grades, which parents attributed to slacking off rather than lack of intelligence, and even played tennis and spent a year in the school band. Number 4. He committed his first murder just 3 weeks after graduating high school. Yikes. In the summer of 1978, just weeks after graduating high school, Jeffrey Dahmer picked up an 18-year-old hitchhiker named Stephen Mark Hicks. Hicks was on his way to a rock concert. Dahmer convinced the young man to accompany him to his home where they could drink together. After hours of drinking, Hicks expressed his desire to leave. Dahmer instead bludgeoned Hicks to death with a 10-pound dumbbell. The murder of Hicks wouldn't come to light until the 1990s, after Dahmer had murdered 16 more people and was finally in police custody. Yeah, for sure. Number 5. Dahmer served as a combat medic in the U.S. Army. In January 1979, Dahmer enlisted in the U.S. Army. He trained as a medical specialist in San Antonio, Texas, and was deployed to Baumholder, West Germany. I don't know if I can say that word. From 1979 to 1981, Dahmer served as a combat medic, during which time he reportedly raped 2 soldiers. The first victim claimed Dahmer raped him once after drugging him. The second, who was Dahmer's roommate, stated that he was raped repeatedly while they shared a living space. Dahmer's alcoholism followed him to West Germany as well. In 1981, after being declared unsuitable for military service, Dahmer was honorably discharged and sent back to the United States. Number 6. Dahmer killed and stored the remains of up to 4 men while living at his grandmother's house. After returning from West Germany, Dahmer briefly moved in with his father and stepmother in Ohio. Then, in December of 1981, Dahmer relocated to live with his grandmother in West Allis, Wisconsin. While here, Dahmer worked a number of day jobs, phlebotomist, some weird job title, a mixer at a chocolate factory. In his off hours, he frequented bathhouses and began preying upon young men. Dahmer lured a number of his victims back to his grandmother's home, where he would drug, rape, and murder them. Dismemberment often occurred there as well. Eventually, Dahmer's grandmother asked her grandson to move out of her home because of his habit of always bringing men home late at night and due to foul smells emanating from the basement. Number 7. Dahmer enjoyed The Exorcist films. Tracy Edwards, Dahmer's would-be 18th victim who escaped and led police back to Dahmer's apartment, noted that The Exorcist 3 had been playing as Dahmer tried to subdue and attack him. Forensic psychiatrist Dr. Park Dietz spent hours speaking with Dahmer after his arrest in an attempt to understand the man's drive to kill. According to Dr. Dietz's testimony, Dahmer often watched The Exorcist 3 as well as Star Wars: Return of the Jedi before cruising for victims. Sometimes, as in the case of Edwards, he'd even watch these films with his victims prior to attacking them. Number 8. He was in the process of building an altar out of the skulls of his victims when he was captured. In July 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested after his would-be 18th victim escaped from Dahmer's Milwaukee apartment and flagged down police. Upon their arrival, authorities uncovered a macabre scene: torsos dissolving in an industrial drum filled with acid, human remains stored in the freezer, To complete skeletons, bleached skulls in his closet, Dahmer had plans for these remains. He told police that had they apprehended him 6 months later, they would have come across a grand altar in his apartment. Festooned with skulls and bones, included the altar's design was a black leather chair, providing Dahmer a place to sit. Dahmer said the altar would be a place where he could feel at home. And number nine, Dahmer became a born-again Christian while in prison. He was baptized in the prison whirlpool in May 1994. I just remembered 2 more fun facts. One, he actually had a fan club while he was apprehended in prison. This guy would receive letters from fans and ask him to resend a letter back with his autograph on the letter. So this guy had fans in prison. It was crazy. Number 2, coming from a cannibal, when Jeffrey ate people with tattoos, he said they tasted like crap. So people with tattoos, I mean, I still don't have a lot, but people with tattoos, shamelessly showing off my Revenant tattoo, people with tattoos were free from cannibalisms. So yeah, get tatted up. Also, number 10, Lionel Dahmer wrote a book about Jeffrey Dahmer after he was captured, entitled A Father's Story. The tragic book that was not meant to defend Jeffrey Dahmer, but rather for Lionel Dahmer, trying to figure out how he had failed so profoundly as a father. Another notable Dahmer book is the award-winning graphic novel My Friend Dahmer, written by Durf, one of Dahmer's high school classmates. Durf's graphic novel was later adapted into the movie My Friend Dahmer, starring Ross Lynch. Also, before I go, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me in this another episode of True Crimes and Serial Killers. Please, if you want to support me, the best way to support me is to hit like and subscribe, and hey, leave a comment down below if you thought my videos were stupid or if you thought they were cool. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.